The sun shining, the sun shining, boom, 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 rise and shine. It's your morning marijuana motivation time. I'm your host of the most is Marky saying every morning I get up and I'm blessed to be alive, and you're blessed to be alive, and we're blessed to have our lives, blessed to live our lives. And the best thing we can do is live our blessed life. And that's something that most of us need to do because most of us are living on some choosing a shitty life, choosing negative thoughts, choosing negative actions, and wondering why the positivity hasn't come out of their lives yet. And there is no wonder, right? There's only work, and there's only the work that you put in on yourself on a daily basis. And I was watching this meme because it was saying yin and yang, and on the other end of the yin was a brain, and on the end of the yang was a heart. And this yin and yang in the background is so amazing to me because that's exactly what Saints Addiction is, man. This dichotomy between my thoughts and my actions, the reactions, the things that I react to, and the things that I decide to dedicate my life to. And there's so many of us that just go through the motions, right? We talk about going through the motions all the time, but not most of us are making decisions, right? We're not actually deciding our lives. We're just going with the flow, and you need to flow for sure, but just like I told my friend, what made us super human was the fact that we invented things. And I was telling him, and I don't know if many people know this, but Jeff Bezos and your boy, what's his name? I just blanked it as a Steve Jobs. Jeff Bezos, Steve Jobs, both had two startling, what do they call it, statistics that changed their lives. And one was for Jeff Bezos, his was easy. He looked at this growth chart that said the internet growth is going to grow by 2,500%. And they were right. You know, beyond the 2,500%, there's the gift and there's the trim. And then there's the awesome. It's just us a blessing. You know, I keep telling everybody, join Weed Club. This is Saints Addiction. I'm in this business. And he chose that business because of the growth. And I chose this business because of the passion. I love it. I'm going to smoke weed for the rest of my days. This is Saints Addiction. I had to come up with good addictions. I had to come up with something that wasn't habitually hurting me. And I know a lot of us, my nose is running, have habitually hurt ourselves and been our worst enemy and didn't become efficient with our lives. We didn't put our energy at the right time. We weren't focused when we were supposed to be focused. And therefore, our life powers have been evaporating basically because, well, you're not around, right? You know, if you kept your powers in check, I forgot my little stand here, you would see that everything has divinity, right? Everything has a purpose and a plan. You meet someone for the right reasons at the right time, being at the right place. And then there's also times when you could be at the wrong place at the wrong time. And that's timing means everything. And also the work that we do on ourselves. So perfect timing helps, but it's also the work. And when we're doing the work on ourselves, all of a sudden everything's a little bit more efficient. And what I meant by that was that the second statistic was that the condor was the most efficient animal on the planet. The way that its wings moved and going through the air using the least amount of calories possible to go the furthest length, it was the condor. Till humans, way down on the end of the list, till we invented the bicycle. Excuse my burps. Now our bodies, because of our minds, could go further, faster, and with less energy. And that's what I want for people. I want them to not be consumed with news and media and drama, and not be consumed with the latest products, gadgets, and things to consume, but to be consumed with themselves, consume themselves with the self-help that they need. I really believe this to be the future. Everyone knowing how many calories they burned and how many steps they took and how efficient is their body. That's the new future. Bless up. A little Morty Bear water motivation. And when we start really working on ourselves continually, we'll start to see the continual progress. So, there's a lot of people that go to the gym and they'll go, okay, I got to do 339 burpees, or I got to do, 75 of this. And I'm not a weight counter. I don't care how many weights you're doing, for how many times you're doing it. I'm just caring if you do it at all. All right. This work that we do on ourselves, it's so important to come back to your vessel that you're going through this, meat bucket, this little meat locker you're in, through this universal plane, trying to figure out what your purposes are and why we are on this planet, or why we do the things that we do. And it all comes down to psychology. It all comes down to this journey of our lives, that we have this continual work, that all our levels are our own. I keep telling my homie, there was 26 different sets for Donkey Kong, but not everybody's level's the same. We all played Mario Brothers. We all played Mario Brothers 2 and 3, but that's not what this one's about. No, this one's about your own levels, the own levels that you have to go through, your own struggles, your own Donkey Kong, and not everyone has the same. So not everyone's advice is going to be the same, and that's just fact. So while we go scrambling through our lives, the only thing we have is this one vessel that we can continually improve. I know people that work more on their cars than they do on themselves, and it makes me on boats and shit. And I'm like, what are you talking about? If you don't have this right, nothing else will be right. And that's just the fact that I live by. So getting our minds right and continually working on ourselves so we can see things properly, on time, with the right timing, with the right vision, with the right attitude, then our whole lives will be changed. Again, the perfect woman would come and you're not ready, you're going to fuck it up. And all of us have been there fucking it up. And we're like, oh man, I just ruined that really good relationship. I just ruined that really good opportunity. I woulda, shoulda, coulda. All of these things are you and your timing, you and the way you communicate with yourself, you and your life, and that continual improvement, and that whole cycle of Zen, of making ourselves a constant improvement of ourselves. I can't remember what that's called in Japanese culture. I bet my homie knows, but there's a Japanese term. I think it's Kaizen, but the Kaizen of us continually improving, continually this process in the one vessel that we have, and making it the best vessel and best message we got. Even after I soaked up the snot, still coming. So anyway, it's the morning marijuana motivation. I do this every morning out of my heart, because it's so important to me that people get not only Saints addiction, but get their mind right. I had to turn negatives into positives. I had to churn my dichotomy into a farm. The things that were detriment to me now need to be a positive to me, and look for opportunities in the obstacles. And I don't know a lot of people that do that. Their brains are just stuck, and I'm like, well, let's switch it up. Let's switch up our gears. Let's switch up our energy. Let's switch up our mentality. These three things we have control over. You have control over your attitude. You have control over your physiological body. And now it's just have control over our minds. They say you control your mind, you control the world. And most people, they don't want to control anything. They just want to just frolic along and everything happens. And that's fine. You know what I mean? That's what we do. And that's what we always want to do, is do better by ourselves and continually improve. And that's why I started this morning marijuana motivations, for all the people that are out there that want something out of life. They're going to have to put that work in. I'll put the video again I did this week, but put that work in. But also it's this continually putting in the work in. It's that continuation of the self-improvement, because we all got something to work on. I don't care if it's the most beautiful woman in the world. She might need to work on her self-esteem. I don't care if it's the smartest guy in the world. He has to work on his social game. I don't care if it's anyone. Every one of us has something to improve on. Not one of us was born with all the answers, and then we're all seeking the answers. So, besides for life teaching us the task, painfully, and the experiences being rough, I don't want you to learn from a cattle prod. I don't need you to be zapped by thousands of volts to get your ass to move. I just want you to start slowly every day, cripplingly, and it'll be bigger than one shock from a cattle prod. This is the lightning that Zeus holds in his hand, that power that we are, powerful beyond all measure. And that's your morning marijuana motivation. On my heart from the start, your boy Marquis Saints Addiction. If you got anything out of this, go ahead, smash the subscribe button. I do this every morning so that we all can be blessed. We can all shine on. That's what Saints Brand's all about. Saints, we light up the world. We turn our halos on, and we reach out. We turn your halo on too, and remind you to shine. And that's what it is, the morning marijuana motivation time. Peace and love. And as always, Chigathon. That means goodbye, but not forever, you know, and I will see you on the other side of this screen. Yeah. Buh, 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 buh. Ciao.